Maybe I should come in. Go and sit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or is that like unprofessional?
I don't know. Let me see.
What's good?
I'll never get over you until I find something new that get me high like you.
Alright, so boom. It's Tamia, and I'm here to share with y'all my story about my delivery. Because one, I feel like if you don't have a baby, you're curious. And if you do have a baby, everybody's story is different because nobody has the same exact delivery because all the vaginas are not the same. So here we go. Well, I'm going to start a couple days before I gave birth because that's when shit started getting real. So I gave birth on a Sunday. That Wednesday, my son wasn't really as active as he was. And while I was pregnant, he moved a lot, like a lot. It wasn't a thing like I felt a little kick here and there. Like, no, he moved like every second. And except for when I was asleep, I didn't feel him because obviously he was asleep. So I didn't feel him, really moving. So then I had to go to the hospital because my doctor was like, if you ever, see a change in his movement, especially so close to my due date, go to where you're about to give birth at. So that's what I did. And they ended up hooking me up to some machines to make sure his heart was still going like it was supposed to. And, making sure he was still alive, basically, because people go in there every day and lose their baby, which sucks, but it happens. So they end up giving me an ultrasound. They took blood, I think. Yeah, they definitely took blood. I remember that because I was like, for what? But they took blood and then they sent me home. And I was kind of upset because my due date was so close, like literally in 4 days. And I was just like, can't y'all just like induce me? But whatever. So my brother's birthday was Thursday, and my grandmother kept stressing it how she wanted me to have my son on his birthday so they could share the same birthday. That's so selfish. I did not want that to happen because he's only 5, and you know how little kids are about attention and all that stuff. So it was already going to be rough having a new baby, and I didn't want to, have it extra rough, like you getting your birthday taken away, basically. So Thursday came, went. I was good. So now I'm like, all right, you got to come up out of me because being pregnant was hard. Like, I was heavy as shit. Like, my frame is small, and I carry well, but like, he was heavy. I gained like 50 pounds. That shit wasn't no joke. So I was like, all right, I want my body back. Like, I couldn't even lay the same. I couldn't bend over. My feet was getting swollen. It was too much. So I'm home, laying down, sleep, relaxing, and then I went to sleep around 12, and I wake up around 1:30. Yeah, I woke up around 1:30, and I felt wet, and I was like, I know I did not just fucking pee on myself. Like, I know I did not. So when I actually like stood up, it was like somebody released a whole bucket of water from my vagina. Like, if you ever been to a water park and they have like the bucket, I know Six Flags has it, but I don't know if anybody else has it. I'm pretty sure they do because it's like fun, but they let the bucket fill up and then they dump it. Like, that's how it was. It was just like full, and then it wouldn't stop. Like, it just kept going. It was so gross. So I was on the phone with my boyfriend at the time, and I told him, like, yo, my water broke. And then he thought I was joking because I was fucking with him all week, like, saying my water broke, but I was lying. So I called my grandma, like, Grandma, wake the fuck up. But she was knocked the hell out, which kind of, now it's like, damn, you was sleeping real heavy to have a pregnant lady in the house. So I had to go in the room and wake her up. And she was like knocked out. Mind you, my due date was like the next day. So I'm like, Grandma, my water broke. And she's like, what? Like, she woke up instantly. She was calling everybody. It was crazy. My boyfriend was over here less than 10 minutes. My cousin and my aunt all got over here less than 15 minutes. Like, cause everybody, it's the middle of the night. Everybody had to wake up, get dressed, but it was a really, quick transition. I got in the shower And mind you, everybody's at the house now, so like everybody's kind of freaking out. But I was calm because the contractions wasn't hitting. Like they were coming, but they weren't like strong. They was like first day, no, like second day period cramps. Like they weren't that bad at first. So I got in the shower because I'm just like, I need to bathe. Like it's gonna be hella people down there. I need to, wash up, especially all that liquid that just came out of me. I need to refresh myself because I didn't know what the hell it was. It was just fluid. So everybody's freaking out, and I'm just like calm as can be, like dumb calm. So I leave with my boyfriend to go to the hospital, and everybody else follows behind us. And as we're going up there, I'm like, damn, I'm hungry. So we stop at the QT, and I get something to eat because I heard they only feed you ice chips, and I'm not an ice chips type of bitch. Like I was starving. No, I need to eat. So I got some food, took it to the hospital. But by the time we got to the hospital, I couldn't even eat because them contractions was coming quicker than flashbacks. They hurt so bad. They hurt so bad. So bad. Like, it felt like somebody was stabbing my spinal cord and like dragging it. Like, it hurt so bad. I wouldn't wish that shit on my worst enemy. Well, I mean, I survived it, so no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. But as my contractions is coming, like they coming quick, so my nurse comes in and brings me my pain medicine, not the epidural, just the pain medicine. And she was like, it only lasts 30 minutes, so you need to go to sleep so it could last, like you could sleep it out. And I'm like, bet, cool. But then like my dad was in the room when I was giving birth, so if you know me, like me and my father is like salt and pepper. So we in there like cutting up, like cracking up. I'm high as hell. Like at this point, I'm like, is there a street name for this? Because I'm on cloud nine. I don't feel a thing. I'm like, oh, I'm having a contraction. Like, okay, I'm having another contraction. Like it was just rainbows and lollipops. And then that shit wore off, and I was a whole nother bitch. I was not friendly. I was not nice. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I was like, yeah, y'all need to get him out of me. Like, it was coming too rough. So I was like, I'm ready for my epidural. And at this point, it's 5. I want to say it's 5 o'clock in the morning. And she's like, you need to wait an hour and a half before I give you the epidural. Because she gave me that medicine. I'm like, all right, bet. I tried to play Uno. I tried to eat candy. I tried to do everything to get my mind off of these damn contractions. And it was not working. Like, I was literally shaking in pain. So they rolled the epidural in an hour and a half later, and I'm like, oh, it is lit. Like, I felt like a crackhead's finest because I was hyped. Like, bitch, yes. She's like, wait, I gotta check you, see how far you dilated. And when I first got into the hospital, I was 3 centimeters, which I was shocked because I didn't even know I was dilated at all. So she checked me, and as soon as she put her hand up there and took it out, it was like pressure galore. Like somebody was pushing down on my stomach, and I was like, oh bitch, like wait a second. So I told her, I was like, I think I need to push. And she whispered over to my father. She was like, she can't get her epidural, like it's too late. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean I can't get my epidural? Like, bitch, you told me I could. Like, what do you mean? So my father's like, you just gonna have to thug it out. And I'm looking at him like, thug it out? Like, I wasn't mentally prepared to not get an epidural. Like, the whole pregnancy, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get an epidural. Like, I ain't gonna feel shit. Like, I'm thinking it's about to be ice cream and cake. It was not. I'm like, all right, I gotta push now, like, cause I'm feeling it heavy. Mind you, she done took her hand out, so I'm feeling it heavy. And she's like, all right, let me call the doctor. Doctor wasn't even there. He was on the way to the hospital, cause I guess it wasn't his time to be there. So he gets in there and he's like, all right, we delivering a baby. I'm like, all right, come on, like somebody catch this, cause I gotta push. So I'm pushing. He's watching TV while he has his hands out. He's looking at the TV and looking at, my box, and looking at the TV, looking at my box, because I wasn't pushing right at first. So then when I started pushing right, I wasn't breathing. So he was like, well, you know, you gotta breathe. And I'm just like, I can't do both at the same time. Like, it was hard. I had to concentrate on pushing because I'm trying to get him out. And then they had to put an oxygen mask on me, but that shit wasn't working. So my father was like, breathe, breathe. So my dad, being my dad, he puts on some fab. It was like 1 into the 2, 2 into the 3. So I was like, all right, I had motivation. I had, you know, it calmed me down because I love me some fab. So I'm pushing. And like the pushes started getting stronger. And then the nurse was like, my favorite nurse, she was like, oh my God, look at his hair. And when she said that, I was like, oh yeah, I want to see, like, you know, I done made him for 10 months. I want to see what I done made. So I pushed like 2 more times. I only pushed for like 20 minutes. I pushed like 2 more times and he slid on out. But when his head was exiting the wonderful magic land, it was like somebody lit a match on my vagina. Like, it burned so bad and I felt every little thing, because mind you, I did not have epidural. I wasn't on no pain medicine. It was like, whew, it hurt so bad. But when they pulled him out all the way, it was like a release. Like, imagine being hella constipated with a big ass turd, like, and then it just come out. That's how I felt. Because when he came out, it was just like a but you know, my doctor was like, oh, she's losing blood. And I'm like, losing blood? Like, fuck you mean? Like, what do you mean? So he was like, I need thread. He said that. I'm like, need thread? Like, what the hell y'all got going on down there? So they're trying to, you know, clean him up and hand him to me and stuff. But I'm trying, you know, I'm nervous about what's going on down there. So he puts him on my chest and I'm like crying because I'm just like, wow, like I made a whole human being. And the doctor is trying to sew me up, being sneaky as shit, not even telling me he's about to sew me up. I just felt like a pinch. But then I felt like a pinch and a pull and a pinch and a pull. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just looking at my son, trying to stick the pain out. But that shit wasn't no hoe neither. Like, I felt every thread, every freaking thread. So, but when I was looking at him, it kind of took the pain away because I was so excited to see him. So as I'm looking at him, his eyes is like wide open. He's already trying to put his head up. Like, he was like, these babies nowadays are really advanced. Like, he was kind of scaring me because I was like, is he supposed to be doing all this? But he was like looking at me, looking at him, and I'm just crying because I'm a mess. Like, I was just like, wow, like I really did this. But he was 6 pounds, 12 ounces when he was born. And he was 6 pounds, 9 ounces when we left the hospital. And I was there for 3 days because I had lost a lot of blood and I had to, you know, get my levels back up for them to release me and stuff. And they wanted to watch me, I guess. Now he's 18 pounds, 6 ounces. And he's only 5 months. So he grew pretty quick. Because good thing he was born small because I couldn't imagine pushing anything out bigger than what he was. So, yeah, I was at the hospital for about 3 days. Like, witch hazel and that squirt bottle was my best friend because to pee, like, that shit was scary. It was a mission every time. Like, I wouldn't drink water just because I didn't want to pee. Because I still was, like, mad. It was a lot going on, but now it's good. Back to brand new. But yeah, that's my story. So like, subscribe, comment. Like I'm talking to somebody. But yeah, it's me, Tamia B. Damn, that's so hard. Intros and outros. Like, what the fuck do you say? What do you say? Bye. Bye. What do you say?